Hello. In the last session, there was so much remix on the screen. It was kind of exciting for me. And in this one, I'm going to give you some more details of things that probably they weren't clicking on in the last session for everyone who was in the last session. Who here was watching the last session? Ah, good, good. And anyone here was hacking last weekend? And maybe I should have given this talk last Thursday or something. But, I'm 19 seconds into it. No, 1 minute into it. That's right. Here we go. Here we go. Well, that's what Remix is. So we're going to be going over interface stuff, how to learn stuff, how to get help, coding help, saving and Git, debugging, deploying, and demoing. So here's just so we have some shared vocabulary. The side panel is this thing, and everything else is main panel, but that's the icon panel. And there's the plugin manager in case you want to get some new plugins. And I'll be making this slide deck available later, so you can just get it at the end. Or take pictures. OK, so right-clicking the File Explorer. When you right-click, you get this huge menu of stuff. If you haven't right-clicked on a item there, do it. And to learn fast, has everyone used Learneth, the Learneth plugin before? Anyone? Ah. You can get all these tutorials, and there'll be more. And soon, there'll be a Chainlink tutorial in there. So to get there, you click the plugin manager, or you go on the main tab, home tab, and click one of those. And then, oh, back one. I think that's that one. Yeah. See, here are the courses, and you can start learning Solidity right inside of Remix and start playing with it. And there are little unit tests, so you can take tests inside the tutorial. Now, if you don't know how to get to the docs in any plugin, just click the top button, and you can get a link to the docs. And if you want to ask ChatGPT for help, a new feature in Remix, right-click on in the body of a function, and you'll get these two. You get this pop-up menu, and then you can get ChatGPT to explain the function or generate the docs. And there it comes in. The answer comes down in the terminal. Also, with compiler errors in the Solidity compiler, click the button. And if you want to ask a human for help, maybe you got to make a gist and send it to them. So right-click on the folder or the file, and you can make a gist. And if your GitHub stuff is in the settings panel, then you can get this URL, and then you can just send them that URL, and they can open it up and tell you why your code's messed up. Yeah, and there's a Remix URL that you can give with just the gist as the parameter, and then you can give that to somebody that will load Remix and it will download the gist into their workspace. So, Workspace Templates. I assume everyone's used Workspace Templates. Well, if you haven't, go in the hamburger up there, and you get this menu, and then you create a workspace, and then you choose what the default templates you want. And here's the default templates. And with those, you can get those files into Remix. So you're starting with something. And when you choose an OpenZeppelin template, you can get these, mintable, burnable, and stuff. And if you use the UUPS upgradability, there's more interface and deployment, so you can choose which proxy you're using, and you can make an upgradable contract deployed in Remix. I don't know what that's. Oh, yeah, OK. And so then you click on it, and it appears there, obviously. Cloning a repo, you go back to the hamburger, you hit clone, and you put in the repo you want to clone, and then you got it. And if you go to Etherscan, it's a little trick. You go to some verified contract in Etherscan. Whoops. You switch out Etherscan for Remix, and then that contract will get downloaded into Remix. And you can get contracts from cookbook.dev. And it's a big, huge library of contracts. And then when you click open in Remix, it'll get in there. And if you want to get individual files into Remix, you can use these buttons over here on the Home tab. Now, saving in Remix is not like saving a Google Doc, because there's no accounts, there's no server. It's saving locally. So you can lose all your work if your browser crashes hard. So you can push it to a repo using Git, or you can use your hard drive and just use RemixD. Has anyone heard of RemixD here? Good. It's a package that you run that shares a folder on your hard drive with Remix, so you can save stuff to your hard drive. And that's how you get to RemixD, by clicking Connect to Localhost. And then there's this modal that comes up that tells you how to do it, and a little tutorial about it if you need to. And then the command for running RemixD is kind of simple. It's RemixD. But you got to run that from a terminal on your computer. And when you're running RemixD, it installs Slither, and then you can get all of that and Slither is accessed through the Solidity Analyzers plugin. And then, but if you're just using Git with RemixD, if you're just using RemixD, oh, sorry, I'm reading that backwards. Next slide. This is more about Git. This is not a Git initialized workspace. This is a Git initialized workspace, because you can see the Git icon. And so it's for when you're not using RemixD, you use dgit. So down here at the bottom of the file explorer, when you have a Git initialized repo, is the list of your branches. And it'll pop up down here. And Git operations happen in the dgit plugin. And there's all the basic Git commands, push, pull, whatever. But you got to put your credentials inside the settings panel. And here's a kind of cool one where if you want to access your changes or see what the changes are, see what the diff is, if you click the name of a file, like here, if you click the name of a file, like here, you can see the diff come up. And yeah, you got that. So now with in Remix, there's help with auto imports, AutoComplete on imports. So like if you're typing anything from the Open Zeppelin library, it'll just auto-complete it as you type. And if you're, so there had been a reputation about Remix where you couldn't load anything from outside. But that's a very old reputation. Our new reputation from actually a couple years back is that just import it. Use the import, and it will go to unpackage. If it's an npm package, it'll go to unpackage, and it will grab your imports. And you can also import by HTTPS or local things, and it will auto-complete all that stuff. So quick fixes are now in Remix. So if you see this little blue dot over here, and you click it, it will give you a bunch of little fixes, quick fixes. Wow, I thought there was a list of that. OK, well, here are the shortcuts revealed. Maybe if you close all the browser tabs, you'll get the list of Remix shortcuts. And here's a list of Remix quick fixes. So if you forget how to type the license or the pragma, just don't do it, and it'll prompt you to put the license in pragma, and you can change all your mutability, and it'll be in there spelled correctly. And there's 4 ways to compile. I don't know if you all knew that. But there's the Solidity compiler. Just go there and click Compile. There's Control-S, which is usually what I do. There's the right-click in the File Explorer to compile. And there's the Play button, which is also for running scripts in Remix. Has anyone run scripts in Remix? You all should. And for cleaning up your formatting, you should just right-click in the editor, and you can get a prettier. You can prettify your files in that menu. replaying your transactions. What slide number are we on? Oh, we only have 40 more to go in 10 minutes. I think I can do it. Replaying the transaction. Has anyone used the transaction recorder? You can, when you're deploying contracts or making any transactions, there's this thing in the middle of deploy and run transactions recorder, and it'll save the number of transactions. And you open that up, and you can hit save, and then when you save it, it'll make a JSON file of all the transactions. Then you can give that scenario to somebody else so that they can run the same transactions as you did, or you can just replay it yourself and use that as a way of like setting the state. But in terms of setting the state, you can also write a script that sets your state. And so you code and then you compile, and there's a special button now where you compile and run script. And in the script you connect the script with the contract in a natspec comment, so that when you hit compile and run, it'll compile the contract you're working on, and then you can run the script, and then it'll set the state, and you don't have to click all those buttons all the time. There's a console log. I assume everyone knows that, but in case you don't. And here's just a quick run-through of the debugger. So you get it by hitting the debug button down there after you have a transaction. There's the Solidity local, Solidity state, all this other info, and you can step through the transactions using those buttons. This is the Solidity analyzers, and this is important for using Slither, but Slither is only there when you have Remixd connected. So here's some shortcuts for deploying, or this is like this sets up Remix to go to the local hard hat chain in this case. But you have to have the hard hat chain running locally. And then if you're working with team members that say, okay, deploy to this chain, but you don't want to look up the chain specs for your browser wallet, you click the environment, and then it'll come up with chainlist.org, and then you can set it there. Or if you're on one of the L2s, you can link to a bridge by hitting that icon. And then there's this contract deployer plugin, which allows you to deploy to the same address to different chains. So use that plugin for that. And natspec, explaining and justifying is important. So you got to do your natspec, and then you can generate the docs. And then you can also generate UML diagrams there. Oh, sorry for your eyes. But it'll just make that there. And then you can download it and pass it around. And also, if your teammates are using Hard Hat or Truffle, you can deploy and compile and grab other compilations from those tools. So this is just making the Hard Hat file for when you compile. It has your Hard Hat settings there when you click that. And then yeah, it's right there. And if you have, but of course, Remixd has to be running because you're working locally with a Hard Hat. Let's see. Yeah, and for deploying, Remix can grab a Hard Hat compilation, and then you can deploy it from Remix, which is kind of cool for just if you haven't set up in Fura, and you have other team members using Hard Hat, and then you can just put it in your browser wallet, so that's fast. And grabbing the ABI is over here. Just hit that button. That's in the Solidity compiler. And then for demoing your project, just use deploy and run. And you can just use the interface there, and that will prove that your contract is working. And then the judges will love you. And that's it. That's the links to this presentation. And if you have any questions about any remix, anything, ask away. Yeah.
Hello, I'm JD. My question is this a kind of wrapper for Hard Hat, or can I connect my Hard Hat project locally directly with Remix?
Yeah, you can have your Hard Hat your project locally, and then you connect the local folder with Remix through RemixD.
Oh.
And then once you do that, whenever you compile in Hard Hat, you can grab the compilation result in Remix. Or you can have the project compiled in Remix ready for Hard Hat.
That was my question. Thanks for us.
Awesome. Give us a round of applause for Rob.